We all know that the major economic reforms in the country were introduced by the former Prime Minister Sri late P.V. Narasimha Rao in the way back in 1991. Since then, every successive government continued the said reforms and laid further foundations for strengthening the economy of the nation. Similarly, under the leadership of present Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the BJP-led NDA government has taken several initiatives and economic reforms that made India established as the fifth largest economy in the world. Hi, my name is Ranjith Reddy. Welcome to Research Dialogue. This particular video discusses and highlights the top 5 major important economic reforms that were initiated by the Modi government. By the way, these 5 major reforms are not in the order of priority. Goods and Service Tax, GST, introduced as One Nation, One Tax, is a perfect example of the federal structure of democracy with the proper coordination between the center and the states. Launched on 1st July 2017, GST has subsumed almost 17 different central and state taxations. So it is considered as a major reform in the indirect taxation of the country. Interestingly, the very idea of GST was initially mooted by former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram during his budget speech of 2006-07. However, due to various political reasons, the idea of GST hasn't been launched during the Congress-led UPA government. So PM Modi, while launching GST, has addressed the public at a midnight function on 30th June 2017 at the Central Hall of Parliament. So earlier there were only 2 historic occasions where the former Prime Ministers have addressed the public from the Central Hall of Parliament during midnights. One, the very historic speech of Jawaharlal Nehru on 14th August 1947 midnight on the eve of Indian independence.
Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom.
Second, by former Prime Minister I.K. Gujral in 1997 on the eve of 50th anniversary of Indian independence. So this lays down the emphasis given by the current government in launching the Goods and Service Tax. Demonetization. All of us still remember the pains we faced during demonetization, isn't it? The government of India has blown surgical strike against the high denomination currency notes of rupees 500 and rupees 1000, which accounts for almost 86% of total currency in circulation at that particular point of time. So the demonetization has been initiated to counter and overcome the threat of black money, fake currency and counterfeit notes. Additionally, it is also expected to promote digitization of transactions, ensuring higher transparency and reduction in corruption. However, there was a strong argument from a section of economists and media that demonetization has not given intended results. So I believe that irrespective of the results, demonetization is a great initiative, great effort and experiment in reforming the economy of the country. Launch of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksi. Why do we remember all of these people? Because these are those individuals, businessmen who have taken hefty loans from banks and financial institutions and flew away from the country. So this repeated incidents of taking huge loans and defaulting in the payment of loans is leading to the increase in the non-performing assets and increasing the stress on the banking and financial sector. So to provide a time-bound resolution for revival of these businesses and to boost the economy, government has launched IBC in the year 2016 with a time-bound resolution of 180 days and to a maximum of not extending beyond 330 days. So IBC 2016 is expected to have provided a positive impact in the improving the ranks of ease of doing business. So we have seen the successful resolution and revival of companies, say SR Steel, Bhushan Steel, Reliance Communication, Future Retail, Diwan Housing Corporation, etc. Launch of Unified Payment Interface, UPI, considered as a real-time payment system developed by the government-owned corporation, National Payment Corporation of India. So all of us today use Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm, and several other similar financial fintech platforms, which all of these platforms rely on UPI at the backdrop. So according to NPCI, there were almost just in the year 2022, UPI has witnessed almost 74 billion transactions amounting to 125 trillion rupees in just 1 year, 2022. So as on today, there were almost 385 banks that were onboarded on UPI platform. What is more interesting about this is the internationalization of UPI. So it is UPI has expanded to the world over, and the payments from the former markets such as USA, China, and Europe. So amidst the growing and uncertain geopolitical concerns across the world, I think UPI is playing a major and significant role in establishing and strengthening our own payment system across the world. Least merger of public sector banks. So just in the year 2021, there were 10 public sector banks merged with 4 other banks. Earlier in the 2012, there were 2 other banks merged with the bank. So almost in the year 2017, there were 27 public sector banks which were merged, consolidated, and now we have only 12 public sector banks in the country. So the merger of public sector banks provides several advantages, such as reduction in the cost of operations, reduction in the non-performing assets, increase in the competitive advantage to these banks, and improved and continued services to the customers. So I believe merger of public sector banks, consolidation of public sector banks will widen its operations across the world in providing continued and better services to the customers, and which will directly impact the revival and promotion of the economy. Along with these 5 reforms, there are several other initiatives that were launched by the government of India. Say, for example, establishment of National Recruitment Agency, launch of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, National Logistics Policy, PM Gati Shakti, Make in India, Digital India, Startup India, Invest India, Jan Dhan Yojana, Ujjwala Yojana, abolition of Planning Commission, replacement with Niti Aayog, merger of railway budget with the union budget. So there are a blanket list of initiatives that were taken by the present government. However, in my opinion, these are the 5 major reforms that has seriously attempted in reviving the economy and making India stand as a superpower. So, what according to you are the major reforms initiated by the government? Please provide your opinions in the comment. Let's debate and discuss. Thank you. Jai Hind.